Good morning, comrades. Today is that day when I will be live on TikTok immediately after Raila Odinga goes down at the AUC in Addis. The conman is fail you. As you can see, God has not failed us. We are on the right side of history. And God rewarded us. People thought, oh, Miguna is just bitter. He's just saying this. What are you going to do when Raila wins? It is so beautiful to say, no, we were right. We were right all along. Okay? I knew we were right. People are saying, oh, you're so prophetic. No, I was scientific. I analyzed this scientifically and reached the only logical and scientific conclusion. Given what I have said, only a lunatic could have said that Raila was going to win. Where was he going to get the votes? That all of a sudden, the president of Senegal, who came from jail and defeated a demagogue like Ruto, was going to vote for Raila Odinga. In which world? In which parallel universe was this going to happen? Oh, because the great Traore, the revolutionary from Burkina Faso, was not going to vote, and his comrades from the Sahel, from Mali and Guinea, all of a sudden, Raila had it. The red carpet is laid out. No, sir. No, ma'am. It was not going to happen. Just like Ruto is not going to succeed. Even a dog in the next election will defeat Ruto if we support that dog. Okay? So there is no way Ruto is going to win. You see, charlatans like, and I didn't want to say this, but I have to say this. People like Rigiji, who were treated so badly by Ruto the other day, even could not have the backbone to stand with us and say Raila must be defeated at the African Union Council chairmanship position. It couldn't. All these charlatans and hypocrites and opportunists were all hoping that somehow it was going to be a miracle and then they could all ride on the back of Raila Odinga. No, it requires a amount of uprightness to be able to be consistent and to stand for your principles. If something is bad, it is bad, even if the entire world said it was good. If something is good, it is good, even if the entire world told me it was bad. So I knew Raila was a con man. I've already been able to prove it. I've meticulously documented in my book, Peeling Back the Mask, which I will launch again this year. Like I promised. I said, this man is going to retire. We are going to force him into retirement. We are going to humiliate him into recognizing that Kenya belongs to Kenyans, not to bandits, organized bandits. The thugs that went to Addis Ababa, the 300 thugs, let's identify all of them, including Babu Patel, the drug dealer, the murderer. He went. We are going to remove them one after another because that is the best way of identifying them. You see, they went to Addis Ababa. We know them, so you know their faces. Meticulously document all of them. Because they stood with evil. They stood with renegades. They stood with the plunderers. They did not have the backbone when the time, when the roll call was called, when we needed them, they were not there. And now they are going to come back with another shenanigan. Ruto is going to, I am sure, Ruto is going to come back with Raila so that they can start another BBI too. I'm 100% sure that they were going to come back and try to change the constitution, to remove the term limit. Okay? They are going to come back to start something else, because they have to start some choreography so that they can continue to steal public funds, they can continue to confuse people, and they can continue to manipulate the gullible for purposes of succeeding themselves. So that thugs, semi-literates like Sudi, can chest thump and say they are the best since sliced bread. We have to tell them no. The country belongs to 60 million Kenyans. The country is not theirs. Our rights are not negotiable. The constitution is not negotiable. We, first and foremost, are sovereign. Okay? Sovereignty is in our hands. The people shall, not may. Okay? The people shall govern themselves, either directly or through their delegated appointees or electees, it doesn't matter. They can withdraw the support for these delegates when these delegates abuse power, abuse trust, subvert the constitution, undermine our sovereignty, steal our resources, abduct our people, torture them, and kill them. Because they have committed all these crimes, we are saying it's over. No reprieve, no forgiveness, no confusion. We are taking our power back now. No negotiations. So, we have to organize wherever we are. Let nobody tell you, oh, you are abroad, you are where. No, it doesn't matter. We are all Kenyans. We are all patriots. We are all freedom fighters. We are proud of our rights. We are not going to allow anyone to subject us, to reduce us to positions of being an insect in our own country. So we are going to say, look, now, wherever you are, create a cell. Create a cell. A cell cannot be of less than 15 people. People who are not united on the basis of the fact that they are thieves or that they are planning to loot or that they are choreographing a mechanism of stealing elections. But patriots united in values. Values of integrity, number one. Unite, only unite with people who have values of integrity, number one. Unite with people who have values. Values of transformative vision. Vision. The ability to see far. The ability to discern. The ability to distinguish. The ability to robustly analyze and reach conclusions which are concrete. The transformation has to be at all levels. It has to be at the moral level. A thief, a liar, a conman cannot be part of this cell. Anyone who has stolen CDF, who has misappropriated, who has been taken to court for theft or murder and got away because of technicality or because they bribed the judges or the DPP or the police or whoever, cannot be part of this cell. So that disqualifies almost 100% of all the MPs and the senators that you have, and the MCAs. The whole lot is rotten. So don't give me the example of the governor of Muranga. No. He steals 100% and gives 60%. He's still a thief. So I don't care. Kangata was a poor man, a pauper, and he's now probably a billionaire. That means he's a thief. So don't give me that example. We want 100%. We are not looking for 20%. Okay? Get the cell together. Values of ideological clarity. If you have no ideology, and probably a lot of people don't even have an ideology, but get the cell of ideological clarity. Okay? Fidel Castro said in 1959, after the Cuban Revolution had succeeded, he was asked by an American journalist, Fidel, if you had to do it again, what is it that you would not do? Or what is it that you do? Fidel said, if I have to do it again, oh, it's gone. Huh? What is it? I think they're trying to take this thing down, but I'm going to continue. So, Fidel was asked, Fidel, if you have to do it again, what would you avoid? What would you not do? Fidel said, look, if I have to do this again, I will do it with 15 men, fully committed, ideologically clear, fearless, and with absolutely no contradictions. I would not do it with 35 men because he had done it. He had started the revolution with 35 men. So a lot of people will say, no, that's a very small number. No. At the core of the revolution, it's not the volume that matters. It's not the quantity that matters. It's the quality of people that matter. The NRM movement, at the core of it, when we pulled it off, and we surprised a lot of people, and up to now people don't know how we did it. We were less than 5. Less than 5. We were able to mobilize the entire country. We failed the Uhuru Park. They were not able to penetrate and infiltrate. And they were not able to plant anything. And even though Raila betrayed me and tried to pull out, he couldn't. Because when he saw the mass of people, he couldn't pull back. And I did it with no apology up to now. And if I were to do it again, I would do it again. Because if you elect a conman like you did in 2017, then I will swear you are conman in. Because that's the person you've chosen. All right? I respect the people that much. If you elect a conman, it is the conman that gets sworn in. Then you realize you elect a conman. Next time, you will not elect a conman. Just like this time, we elected a thug, a tyrant. Ruto is a thug. Ruto is a tyrant, yes. Because we had a demagogue and a deputy demagogue in 2022. So the demagogue was saying, I'm going to destroy the Constitution. I'm going to remove the term limits. I'm going to bring back detention without trial. I'm going to make sure that bodies on River Yala, there are going to be more bodies, all the rivers now. River Nyando, River Sondu, Athi River, whatever. All the rivers were going to pile up with bodies. And we said, no, this is now an existential threat. He's now with Raila Odinga, we have to stop them. So we used the deputy demagogue to stop the chief demagogue, Uhuru Kenyatta. That's what we did. We used Ruto. Knowing very well that we were now making sure that Kenyans understood, number one, that a president can be stopped. that you can actually defeat a sitting president. To me, that was the most important strategic value. That we needed to prove that Uhuru Kenyatta, no matter how strong he was, no matter how brutal, no matter how rich, we could stop him with Raila Odinga. A lot of people thought it was impossible. But I wanted this to happen so that Kenyans could know power is in their hands. So next time when faced with a chicken thief who is now becoming a tyrant and a plunderer, we can stop a chicken thief who is Ruto. If we could stop Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, who is Ruto? Even if Ruto is joined by Raila Odinga and the stupid, lazy man called Mudavadi and the watermelon and the rest of them, we can take them and bury them in one heap, which is what we are going to do. All right? So, form cells, concentric circles, 15, then 15, then 15, of fully committed men and women of integrity. Fully committed. Bound only by the values of valor, values of integrity, values of freedom, values of honesty, values of transformative vision. Once you have that, then we will call a day when we can march on to State House and we can take it. I can assure you, Ruto will take the first flight to Sudan so that he can go and die with the janjaweed that he supports. All right? But if he remains in the country, he's going to committee. And all these big houses that he's constructing for mistresses all over the country will be taken over and will turn them into hospitals and huge, research facilities. He's built very nice places that we can turn into huge medical research, ICT, artificial intelligence, hubs for the country, for the benefit of everyone. We can turn them into huge factories, the farms that he has dotted all over the country, together with the Uhurus. Some of them will be malls, like the Taj Mahal that he has built in Washungishu. That would be a tourist attraction. We turn it over to the Ministry of Tourism and is run properly and earns the country revenue. So this is the way. There will be expropriation without compensation of public land they have stolen. We must expropriate all public wealth that these people have taken. All the banks they are starting, all the hotels they have opened, these are all public. These are all public property, which we must take back. And then run them efficiently, with integrity, to earn public wealth. And then we will turn the cities into modern, well-managed cities of the world, just like I told them in 2017. Nairobi needs a subway system. That's the only way to deal with transport. And Mombasa, and Kisumu, and Nakuru, and Eldoret, and all the cities. There is no city in the world that does not have the majority of its commuters underground. If you don't have that, you're not a city. You're a village. You're a banana republic. Okay? So we want to do this. Tanzania is doing it. They have trams. They have streetcars that are modern. The Dar es Salaam International Airport now is better than Kenya 10 times. And they have done it in the last 15 years. Magufuli did a great job before the Americans took him out. It doesn't matter if they take you out as long as you leave a mark. What you leave behind is a legacy, just like Sankara left a legacy. Revolutionaries don't die as long as you have left a legacy. We are talking of Lumumba. We don't talk of Mobutu. who was there for 35 years, 40 years. Lumumba was not even there for 2 years, but we still talk about Lumumba. We talk about Sankara, who was there for only 4 years. We talk about Nkrumah, who did not finish 5 years. The point is, legacy more important than all this ostentatious opulence, courtesy of our taxes. And once we have these cells, then we have the engine of change. If you turn this into a movement, the cells coming together into a movement, a national reconstruction movement, call it what you want, a national revolutionary movement, a national reconstruction movement, whatever you want to call it, then we can turn Kenya around. It would not matter what age group, it would not matter what gender, it would not matter the level of education. The values are what should and must unite us in turning things around. And that is what I wanted to say today about the meaning of Raila Odinga's defeat, the meaning of Raila Odinga's complete humiliation in Addis Ababa, that it is good for the revolutionaries. It is a terrible failure for the oligarchs, the bandits, the criminals, and should now re-energize us in the final push for the total liberation of Kenya. Let me look at some of the questions that you may have. Any questions? I don't see questions. Huh? Are there any questions?
No.
Yeah, I think everybody is happy. So, viva! This has been a magnificent day, and I would love to go on, but every good thing must have a beginning and also an end. And so, comrades, patriots, citizens, freedom fighters, we must continue. A luta continua. Viva!
Who's the best one to replace Ruto, they were asking.
Okay, so the question is asked, who is the best person to replace Ruto? The movement will decide. Once we have the movement based on values, the best person will emerge out of the movement. It is retrogressive and reactionary for someone to start from the position of, I must be a leader, or it must be this. No. There are thousands of Kenyans who are capable, but we have not created the conducive conditions for them to emerge to the leadership position. Just like in Senegal, you didn't know the current president would be president, and nobody knew what kind of president he would become. But I can assure you, there will, in the next epoch, after our revolution, no tin god, no pictures of people hanged in offices and business places. It's primitive. You hang your parents' pictures, your loved ones, and your heroes. You choose who those heroes are. The state should not choose that for you. So this low self-esteem character, behavior of hanging your pictures all over thinking that you are a semi-god, that will be a thing of the past. I can say that with confidence. Because that's not how proper societies are governed.
When are you coming back?
When am I coming back? As if I left. I was in Kenya last year, but because the conditions are such that revolutionaries can't really earn a living in Kenya, I'm a lawyer, but I can't really practice in Kenya. You know, in Kenya, if you want to win a case in court, probably if you're lucky and you get a good judge, or you bribe. And I cannot bribe anybody. So I practice law where my mind, the ability, the work, the dedication can put food on the table. So that's what I'm doing. I will be back this year, obviously. I'm not going to announce it now, but I will announce a date, and the struggle will continue. You know, I don't fear Ruto. I don't fear anybody. If I feared them, they would not have exiled me because I was not living willingly. They forced me out. You don't force a coward out. You force a real revolutionary out because you're not able to face them. And so that's what happened. It does not matter where somebody is. Most revolutions in the world did not take place when the leaders were actually in the country when the revolution was taking place. In Cuba, Castro was in Mexico. All right? In Soviet Union or Russia, Lenin was in France. And in many countries around the world, including the latest one, Bangladesh, the leader was actually in France, in exile. In Iran, the Ayatollah was also in Iran. Most revolutionaries, the leaders of the revolutions, are not always around, but they're around in spirit. The message is out. And with the modern world, where we can use social media, and we can use other modern techniques of communication like TikTok, like X, like Facebook or Meta, we can communicate real time regardless of where we are. And that is the spirit. It should not matter where we are. Wherever we are physically, as long as we can connect and reach one another, we can continue and must continue the struggle. We were able to defeat Raila Odinga even though I was not in Addis and I was not in Nairobi. But really we did. We did defeat Raila Odinga. It was not an accident. It did not happen, but it was not an happenstance. Okay? It was not some God that defeated Raila Odinga in Addis. We did through our work. So we are going to relish in this victory. Okay? Thank you.